What is going on, everybody? Jesse here. I wanted to do a quick video on a tuber that I think a lot of people should grow, that they don't necessarily do. They probably have no idea what it is. It's actually in this pot right beside me, and I will tell you what, it is unkillable. It's actually borderline invasive, but if you keep on top of it, it will keep you knee-deep in tubers all year round. What am I talking about? Jerusalem artichoke. These are just growing in a bucket. These are what I harvested come the spring from my Jerusalem artichoke patch, and I just ran out of space. I produced so many Jerusalem artichokes. I was well past 50 pounds of sunchokes in a small patch. There's no dirt in this. This is just the old tubers. They, it's unkillable. If you have any trouble with potatoes, any trouble at all, this is something that anyone can grow. It's actually a cousin of the sunflower, and it actually makes tiny little flowers. It also gets very large. There's a number of reasons why you could grow this. You could grow it simply because you like you want a starchy tuber. They don't taste quite like a potato. They taste more like a, if I was gonna say anything, it'd probably be like a rutabaga. With a hint like a nutty flavor on top of it, but it has like a crisp potato-like skin. I like to saute them in olive oil and just roast them in the oven for about an hour. They come out pretty good, but that's just one way of actually cooking them down. But that's not the only reason why you could grow these. You grow it simply because you like the flowers. They actually do produce a very pretty little flower on top of like 15-foot tall stalks. And that's one of the things I was going to get at. If you compost, or if you're trying to produce more compost, or like chop and drop methods of fertilizing your soil, this could be a plant for you as well, because it creates so much biomass. I'll bring you over to the patch here in a moment, just to show you where it's at and how it's going so far, but it produces so much biomass. If you wanted to, you could actually just chop and drop as you go along. I could put this in the food forest and just chop and drop to make compost all over the place. I prefer to use it for two reasons: for the tubers themselves and canes. They make a very sturdy stalk that I use to trellis up pole beans and things like that. Let me bring you over to the patch to see how it's going so far. All right, welcome to the Jerusalem artichoke patch. It's not a very big patch. It is 14 feet wide, 5 feet deep. And as you can see, there's a lot in here. Now, what is actually in my hands right now is one of the stalks of the plants from last year. As you can see, not bad size. I actually cut this in half. This thing was, I'm only 6 feet tall, barely. This thing was 12, 13 feet tall, and it was colossal. And as you can see, pretty sturdy cane. So there are a couple different things you could do with them. What can you do with these things? I like to trellis up my peas and my beans. I like to create structures for my tomatoes. It's just a very versatile plant. It gives you the tubers in the fall, and after the tubers are gone, it still has the biomass. Now, whether you use the biomass to compost down or create structures is up to you, but it is a great plant to have in the garden as long as you keep on top of it. I've actually noticed down here that I have plants that are outside of the zone that I have for my sunchokes, and you're going to find it does that a lot. You have to keep on top of this plant because it is invasive. It's hard to kill, which, you know, for a lot of gardeners is a good thing. I'll take it as a good thing. It just makes life a little bit easier to have a plant that absolutely wants to live. Because sometimes, if you have any experiences like mine, some things simply just die. So it's nice to have a success that's an easy one for any gardener to have. Now, I hope you learned something about sunchokes here. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get to cutting them up and maybe sauteing them up to show you what they look like when they're done and tasty. This is Jesse. Have a good one.